90s been insanely in love, for no particular reason, with smartphones. I say no particular reason, obviously they just float my boat. I guess it's the equivalent of being a petrolhead and loving cars. And my name has been associated for some time in some people's heads with Apple, because I've made no secret of my admiration for what the chaps and chapesses at Cupertino have come out with, especially since 2007 when they released the iPhone and changed everything. And I made no secret of my dislike of Microsoft over many years. I did think that analogy of a building site, of a 60s grey office, which is essentially what the environments they were making then were. And I think, whatever I may think of this device, and we're going to come to that in a moment, I think we can all admire the humility with which Microsoft have admitted to the fact that they now, I think, get it. They get the fact that all human beings, whether they work in enterprise or in small businesses or are self-employed, are human beings first. You don't judge the machines you use or the houses you live in or the offices where you work simply by listing their functions. The first thing you do as a human being, whether or not you work for a large business or a small one, is say how you feel about it. What do you feel about your office? Does it make you feel good? When people buy a house, yes, of course they need the right number of bathrooms. Of course they want that amount of acreage. But essentially they make the choice on feeling. And what I always was excited by when Apple produced things, and then when HTC and other OEMs started making fascinating and enjoyable Androids, and even when RIM came up with the torch, I felt pleasure using them. Because these are like things that we carry them around with us at all times, and our lives flow through and out of them. And the first feeling we should have is one of delight. So when I heard Mr. Palmer use the word delight, I thought, oh, what joy there is in heaven when a sinner repenteth. Because, let's be frank, Microsoft were grey, they were featureless. They did concentrate so much on enterprise and tick boxes for function that they forgot that even the greyest number cruncher in the corporation is a human being first, a father, a husband, a mother, a daughter, whatever. And that their experiences are based on feeling and on emotion. So when they did send me one of these, about a week or so ago, I've got a few of them. I'm going to have to give this, only one of them I'm allowed to keep, apparently, which is really sad. But as I say, I'm not being paid. My first feeling was that it was just fun to play with. And I know that's childish, but isn't that how you think of cars and many other of the things we spend our lives doing? Is it fun to drive? Yes, you want it to be economical. Yes, you want it to get from A to B properly. Yes, you want various things. You know that story about the Volkswagen Bug when they sort of reinvented the Beetle, and the engineers had come up with these astonishing ergonomic designs and engine governance and maintenance systems, were devastated to hear that one of the primary reasons people bought it was because they liked the flower bud vase that was built on the dashboard. I thought, what? But they shouldn't have mocked people for saying, I want this car because it's got a flower bud vase. They should recognize that people buy things because they feel that emotional engagement. They feel the pleasure of using it. And I have felt enormous pleasure using this phone. Yes, because I'm not a paid spokesman, and because I'm not any kind of spokesman for Microsoft, I can say it has its deficiencies. But then that was the thing about the iPhone that everybody fell on. People who had Windows Mobile 5, as it then was, 6 was just coming out, they laughed to scorn the iPhone when it arrived because it didn't have all these functions. But if you remember the tedious horror of drilling down through the menus just to get a wireless connection on an old Winmob phone, you will understand that it wasn't about that. People embraced the iPhone because it was simple, it was closed, it was clear. Now the closed environment is something we're all going to be speaking about, the ecosystem. You're all going to be speaking about how it positions itself against RIM and how it positions itself, obviously crucially, against the iPhone and the Android. And that's a decision that only the market and the next year can make. You can all guess, we can all guess, we can all go back, if we've got the guts, to June 2007 and look at the blogs that welcomed the iPhone. And then look at the ones that welcomed the G1, the first Android. And we can see how bad we all are at predicting how things work. But I think you have to be very stony-hearted not to welcome a new player It will be in a year or so's time. I think we're all aware there will be Windows Mobile 7, of course, probably in a Slate version as well. There's RIM, there's iOS from Apple, there's Android, and of course Hewlett Packard will be bringing out the web OS that they've sort of retooled from their purchase of Palm. And I'm all for that. Yes, I do love Apple. I don't dispute it. But I'm not a monotheist in that respect. I want biodiversity in this market. And all of us who love it probably should welcome that too. The more players there are in it, the more it drives creativity and innovation, and the more thrilling a space it becomes. Will I be using my Windows 7 phone? Yes. But in the other pocket, there'll be a BlackBerry Torch, and in another pocket, there'll be an Android phone, and in another one, there'll be an iPhone, because I am completely sad and beyond hope and beyond rescue. But I am genuinely thrilled, and I never thought the day would come to stand on the stage and praise Microsoft for doing something that they can be proud of. They've, in the past, done things they can be proud of. Of course they have. Wait till Connect happens. Wait till, there's a lot of good, and the Xbox has clearly been a huge success. And Windows 7 is better than Vista, mind you. The shit on my shoe is better than Vista. But, so, as I say, I'm just really happy, and I'm proud to be asked. I think the fact that they asked me, not asking what I was going to say, not insisting on me having a script, shows that they really have changed their outlook. And basically, I kind of think of Leeds United. There was a time when they ruled what was then the First Division, and everybody kind of disliked them. They were so efficient and so powerful, slightly ugly in the way they played. And now you look at them and you feel sorry for them. And who would have thought that the day would come when Microsoft would make a product announcement kind of as an underdog? And I think that's wonderful. And the British part of me, aside from everything else, welcomes the underdog. I've spoken for long enough. Anyway, I just want to say what a pleasure it is to be here. And I hope you have fun. There's some hands-on time now. I hope you're having much fun with this rather sleek, almost liquid feel of the thing. It's very beautiful experience. Thanks very much.
That was high risk, wasn't it?